anything meaningful to the industry. Equally important, Honorable Wangwe and your team, you must also define very clearly implements that are used in sugar farming, so that we can zero rate them in terms of duties payable and taxes payable to support the farmer. All these things, we know them. All these things have been talked about before. What we need is the will. Na mambo ni matatu. To know where the problem started, to know where we were, and to know where we are going. Ile ingine pia is as legitimate as Hamala put it. Because, you know, in the Roman days, Peter, you remember, if you are given an opportunity to guard the king, and you sleep and robbers or wrong people come and harm the king, you don't wait to be dealt with. You fall on your sword. So hiyo ndio mambo matatu. You fall on your sword and go either to heaven, to purgatory, or to hell, whichever is appropriate. So let me end here by asking all of us. I have a speech here, Baraza. I've extracted most of the things I've said in this. I'll give it to you for your final outcome. But let's be here not as a talking shop. Let's be here to talk seriously. Can the mill in Zoya that is 50 years old in its form produce sugar? Can the mill in Mumias that has been vandalized produce sugar? Do we allow private investors who have no nucleus to continue roaming everywhere, collecting your sugar cane without consequences? You need to have all those. The president has said very clearly, and I told him I was coming here, and he told me to wish you well. He supports, and he will support the outcome of this meeting. And he has said he's writing off all the debts. Again, Wangwe and your team, you must define what debts are. Because you may write off debts owed to government and forget that there are debts owed by the mills to the farmers. There are also debts. And the president assured us during campaigns that he will also avail resources to pay the farmers. In fact, in terms of Bungoma, he has already given instructions to Governor Lusaka to work with the board and audit, so that are we going to pay debts to real farmers or to ghost farmers? So that at the end of the day, we also clear the farmers' debts. That the national government will do. We also have some debts that are not owed to government, but are owed to people who are providing other services to the factories. Those who are doing transport services, those who are doing plowing services, those who are supplying spares to the factories. Again, you must clearly define that debts mean and include all those debts, so that when you are writing off, you don't write off for bringing you spare parts, you have not paid Anjarwal for plowing for you, and so on. So all those must be dealt with. And there must be in the regulations. Say what you mean what you say in the law that you are drafting and bringing to the country. Because if you leave anything vague, people really like taking shortcuts where the law is not clear. And you have good lawyers who will interpret the law to suit their clients at will. So make it very simple, very clear. I wish you well in this conference. Whatever outcome you have, as Parliament, we shall play our part to give this industry a new beginning. As farmers, don't give up. Nothing lasts forever, even the problems we have. You know, the Mulembe people of Bungoma, the Bukusu say, esusiyabo lenga neli buli sivile siolanga. Whatever is hot, you know we used to kill bed bugs with boiling water. So when you bring boiling water to pour on the bed bugs, the mother tightens the skin and tells the kid, my kid, just be steady. Whatever is hot will eventually cool down. So whatever is hot will cool down. Let's work together. Let's revive our industry. The future is bright. Mbele iko sawa. Tuache kutukanana. Tuache apportioning blame. If we want to say who will throw the first stone, like Jesus asked those Pharisees, not a single one threw the stone. And I'm sure if I say who can throw the first stone, nobody will throw a stone here. So let's get together and work together, because together as one, we can succeed. On your own, you will not. Thank you, Governor Barasa, for hosting us. Thank you, Peter, for leading LREB. We must succeed. You lead counties that are 100% arable. Look at Lake Victoria. Why do we drink water bottled in France? Why do we drink water bottled in Germany when you have Lake Victoria? The largest freshwater lake in the world. And many other challenges. Let's talk sugar today, but call our meeting, we talk about other things as well, about our region. The blue economy, maize farming, coffee farming, tea farming, transport industry, everything that we need to do. Cotton farming. I'm told Juma has already registered 11,000 plus cotton farmers. And I want to urge you, governors, don't go to the national government to look for ginaries. A ginary is only 200 million. We can put up ginaries. Malakisi, Mulwanda, Siaya, everywhere where we used to do cotton. Then add value. Do you know, Peter Nyang' Nyong'o, that Bangladesh, one of the poorest countries in Asia, exports to America more clothing than the entire Africa put together? Since Nani Alitoroga, may God bless you. And may we come up with good solutions. Thank you. I now declare this conference officially opened, and may we speak our minds openly, clearly, and productively. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together for the Right Honorable Moses Wetangula in 30 seconds to pigia makofi jamani, makofi. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please be seated. I now wish to invite all of us now to put our eyes on the screens as we play the LREB documentary.
Researchers and industry players to the Lake Region Economic Bloc Sugar Conference 2023.
The Lake Region Economic Bloc has organized LREB Sugar Conference 2023 for stakeholders to chart the way forward on how to rejuvenate the ailing sugar industry in the region.
As chairman of the Lake Region Economic Bloc, I'd like to invite you all to the Sugar Summit. This conference is very important at this point in time. We know that the millers have their differences, which is not surprising because it's a competitive industry.
Wamekula paka wamepenya na ndani yote wamefuna yote wamekula wamemaliza.
Nangoja conference tu tujue mwelekeo ya machine. Kwa nini inataka gapi? Inataka gapi?
The sugar sector in the last 20 years has been turbulent. In the from the early 70s up the late 90s up to 2000, it was very good because there was enough cane, farmers were getting good income, sugar production was good, and the economy was thriving for the benefit of the people around the sugar factory. The main challenge that has made the factory to go down is a lack of sugar cane. Production of sugar cane went so low that the factory cannot sustain the operations because of inadequate cane.
Statistics shows that sugar industry contributes an average of 15% to Kenya's agricultural GDP. The sector consists of more than 250,000 smallholder farmers supplying over 94% of the sugarcane processed by sugar companies, while the remainder is produced by sugar farm-owned nucleus plantations. According to the players of the industry, for the past 20 years, the sugar industry has been grappling with numerous challenges.
All our farm machinery are here. We have our tractors, we have bale units. Right now we have 6 new bale units. We have our tractors inside there. We have road construction units there. Now what's interesting is that now, because of packing all those equipment, some of it's now depreciating so much that you can imagine if it stays like that for the next 20 years, whether you'll recover anything from there.
Nashukuru gavana wetu Fernandes Barasa kwa ile mpango yake ya Sugar Conference. Ile kitu tunaweza taka waongee, waelewane ili turudi kazi. Because tunaumia sana, hakuna venye tunaweza hata pata matumizi ya nyumbani, na pia hata tukiwa huko nyumbani like sahi tunafanya planting, hata kununua mbegu ni shida, fertilizer kupata ni shida, na venye tulikuwa kazi tulikuwa able ku earn something, na tulikuwa able kununua hata mbolea na mbegu.
Mkulima hayuko motivated kupanda miwa kwa sababu miwa inalipwa duni. The raw material when you compare na cost ya coffee iko juu lakini miwa iko chini. Na unajua kuna ni labor intensive, na pia raw materials zinaenda hapa kama mbolea. Kama hapo unaona miwa ndiko black namna hii. Nimeweka mbolea mingi, naweka watu wanapalilia. Tunaona vitu kama hizo the cost does not match with what we get. Ndio maana unapata viwanda zinafunga kwa sababu farmers hawako motivated kupanda miwa.
Miwa nililima ndio hata ilinishinda na kupalilia vile mnaona. Chenye kimepaki ni wenye wanapita njia wanasikula, wanakula, na imekoma imetosha kukata. Sijui nitakata nipeleke wapi, munisaidie jamani. Ukiangalia miwa hii ikifika mwezi wa 10 hata hitakuwa shamba itakuwa bure. Tafadhali muniambie serikali penye tutapeleka hii miwa. Ninaomba hata kama mashini ni kufunguliwa isifika hata mwezi wa 11, kwa sababu hii ndio maisha yenye tumetekemea. Ninaomba tu hii conference ya wakulima yenye inaenda kukaa, tafadhali waangalie tu, wafikirie mambo na ukulima, wafikirie miwa yangu. Nililima mara ya kwanza, nikarudi nikalima, nikashindwa. Sasa ndio hii watu wakipita wanafikiria tu, sasa hata ni msitu tu ya watu kukula. Munisaidie jamani.
Sababu hii kiwanda ilikuwa inasaidia watu kutoka hapa mpaka hadi Mombasa na sehemu zingine tofauti katika Jamhuri ya Kenya. Sasa hiyo vile kiwanda kilififia, watu wengi wako na shida kusomesha watoto, na hata zidi tulikuwa tunafanya hapa, hata mapato yetu invoice zingine tungali nazo kwa nyumba, na pesa zingine nyingi. Hata wengine wameshindwa kutoa watoto katika hii kiwanda, wameishi kwa nyumba, hata kubeba vitu wameshindwa. Hadi wa leo watu walibaki tu dilemma.
In the past, we were talking of delayed harvest. Farmers were crying of delayed harvest. Now farmers are there. We are the ones, the situation has reversed. It is now us, the millers, who have a problem. We don't have cane to harvest.
And it's not Kenya alone that is facing a crisis. Other commercial countries are facing crisis in sugar production. We need to know what is the problem and what is the solution. So the Sugar Conference will give answers to those problems. We have reverted to importing sugar from non-commercial countries. We are now importing, Kenya is importing sugar from Brazil. Brazil is not a COMESA member country.
And generally that is the economy of this bloc. The economy of this bloc is about sugar, and really it has collapsed. So it's 70 or 80% of our sugar factories are not functional, especially when you look at the public-run institutions like Mumias, Moroni, Gemelil, Miwani. Sony is struggling, you know, and Zoya Sugar, you know, several public-owned institutions of sugar are not doing well as they should.
And we cry, we pray, and we hope that the sugar sector will be revived, because many of us depend on it directly and indirectly, and the county government benefits a lot when our people have money in their pockets.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our small documentary. And to unpack the Sugar Task Force report, may I now invite the Honorable Nabi Nabwera to come and unpack the Sugar Task Force report. Honorable Nabi Nabwera. Tumkaribishe kwa makofi jamani.
Thank you, Right Honorable. I'll want to take very few minutes. I have a colleague whom we were joint secretaries in the task force, Christine Cesaro, who would be assisting me, and we are taking not more than 20 minutes. Right Honorable Speaker, in this hall this morning, all the stakeholders that participated in the negotiated task force report are seated in here. And I would like to ask them, those who participated, including Professor Nyang'nyong, who was the vice chair. I can see Governor Otuoma, who was there. I can see the farmers representatives, Juma and Waswa. They are also here. Can all those who are members of the task force who are in here stand? And I can see Meli, who was then the chairman of Agriculture Committee that we are working under. They are here. Can you all stand up? Those of us who participated in this task force report. You can see them, including the millers. They are all here. So all what I'm saying is what they negotiated. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to use a very simple model to unpack the task force report. If you look at your report, the booklet you have, each one of you have a booklet. Roman 8, it is in graphics. Roman 8. That speaks our story on the Sugar Task Force. Can we go to Roman 8? Christine, can you assist them to move there? The graphics. Yes, that's all. The whole story about this Sugar Task Force is presented there. The 8 recommendations between government, farmers, millers, traders, and all stakeholders is represented in that Roman 8. The second one talks about enhanced milling efficiency and competitiveness. The third one talks about developing appropriate pricing and funding mechanisms. The fourth one talks about compliance with COMESA requirements. The fifth one talks about promote marketing and trade in the industry. Sixth, review taxation structures. Seventh, improve competitiveness of public-owned mills. And the mother of all, is policy, legal, and regulatory institutional reforms. Honorable Speaker, we negotiated a number of tools out of this report. It has a number of annexures. One of the tools was a bill that when the government could not present that sugar bill, we asked Honorable Wamunyinyi to present the bill. The 12th Parliament could not see the bill through. And that is the bill Honorable Wangwe took over in the current Parliament. It's a negotiated bill.